You're watching Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
The opinions expressed in the following programs are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers Cable or Rogers TV.
Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans, and the way I like to start the show is I pull cards for inspiration to bring through some messages to assist us with the current energies that we're experiencing this week. Also depends on where the planets are, what the moon is doing, all that stuff. So it can impact us. It can impact our relationships, our financial situations, our health, our business. So I usually wait till a card just like pops right up. Or okay, there it is. It fell out. So I'm going to bring it up here to the camera. We're going to aim to zoom into that. So it's Uriel and the Sphinx. Okay. So you can see this. There's a beautiful big Sphinx there, and there's the moon energy up in the sky. There's sand surrounding the Sphinx. So when I think about, it reminds me of archaeology and needing to, use a brush and uncover what might be below the surface. So we are going through a period of experiencing situations, people, feeling emotions coming up, which is an indication of old patterns that are being relieved or revealed so they can be relieved, so they can be healed, so they can be transmuted. So it's important for us to uncover. It's like uncovering what might have been created within the past, because we can take on patterns from our ancestral lineage, things that come through our DNA. So I've mentioned this before in other shows. It can come through trauma that you've experienced in this lifetime, and I also believe in past lifetimes. So we can have an opportunity of revealing the old, what we have learned from that, and how we have moved beyond that. And we are way stronger from the inside out, of who we are, more in alignment of who we are. So you are the representation of Uriel, and being that it's like connecting in with your higher self, your higher wisdom, to reveal, to have more clarity. So I'm going to talk about who we have coming up on the show. And by the way, if you are interested in a one-on-one session with me, you can check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca. So on the show, you're going to be meeting author Michelle Brown and talking about her debut book, Love Always. I have to tell you, when I started reading that, it grabbed me right away. And then Joel Mislick, the gluten-free guy, is in the house giving us more recipes for easy, healthy entertaining. So stick around. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Hi, my name's Scott Dennis, host of the Sports Report here on Rogers TV Durham. Do you love sports? So do I, and we're talking about it anywhere from the Oshawa Generals to college, university to amateur sport. Make sure you tune in here, only on Rogers TV Durham.
welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm sitting here with author Michelle Brown, and we're going to be talking about her debut novel, Love Always. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
So this is a really heartfelt novel. I had a chance to start reading it. I'm a slow reader. I don't give myself enough time to read these days. So, but you had me hooked in the first few pages.
Excellent.
Right? And so I understand that the story is about how your grandparents met.
Yes, it is. So it was put together really inspired by stories that my grandmother had told me when I was little, you know, sitting on her lap kind of thing, having tea together. She's from England. And how they met during World War II. And fell in love. And, you know, the story goes that my grandfather saw her and it was just kismet for him. And it kind of goes from there. And then there's the war, of course, is happening. So there's a lot of, you know, that upheaval and tragedy that happens in war and that they were sort of caught up in. And my grandmother was in the military, British military. My grandfather was in the Canadian military. He was part of a regiment called the 8th Reconnaissance Regiment, and they were kind of known as being the ones to call in and get stuff done. So there's lots of really exciting pieces that I was able to kind of connect their story and the stories that my grandmother had told me to true events during the war. And then through my research, I was able to get his military records. I was able to get the war diary for his regiment. And I was able to piece together all of these amazing situations and discover that, oh my goodness, the stories are true. And, you know, when you find that out and you realize that these really significant events in history, your grandparents were part of that, and it was just mind-blowing, to be honest. Yeah.
I just want to say the style of your writing really creates so I'm empathic. I feel the vibration of words, of situations, of the love at first sight even.
Yes.
I just want to say that because I truly believe in love at first sight. It might not necessarily be just sight.
Yes.
Could be like
the chemistry.
The chemistry, the energy of this person, the significance.
Yeah.
I need to be with this person.
Yeah.
So you really portrayed that so well.
Thank you.
And the energy of that opening scene at the wedding.
Yes.
I don't know how much detail you want to give.
Can't give too much of a spoiler because.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that is how they met. There's obviously creative license in there to add to the excitement and the interest for the reader. But for the most part, the novel contains a lot of actual events and a lot of actual drama. So, yeah.
So by night, you are an author, and by day you are a teacher librarian.
Yes, I am.
What a perfect combination that is.
Absolutely. And ironically, the dream job for me always has been to be the school librarian. So I love being part of the heart of the school. I love being able to see every single student in the school and have this really great relationship with them because I get to be the fun teacher. I get to do fun things with them, and yeah, it's like the best job in the whole world.
So can I ask, what inspired you to, first of all, write a book, and then decide to write a book about your grandparents?
I have always loved writing since I was about 9 years old. I had a teacher, Judy Wales, who was just she was that amazing teacher for everybody. So not just me, like every student who had her, she just was able to pull the best out of every single person, you know? And for me, it was writing. She saw my love and my passion for writing, and she just encouraged it so much. So like at that early, I started being really shown that this is something that I could do. And so, you know, it sort of carried on. And my grandmother's stories have just always been something that I've wanted to put down on paper and share. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what I think is also so beautiful about this story, it's not only telling the story of how your grandparents met, but it's also a story of inner strength and resilience. Did you know that about, did you see that within your grandmother, or was it as the story unfolded that that theme started really presenting itself?
No, I always knew my grandmother was this quiet force. You know, she was not a person who wanted or asked to ever be front and center. She was quite happy to sit quietly with a cup of tea and just enjoy whatever was being offered in her space. But she just had this resilience, this strength. There's this phrase that I always come back to that she would say, and it's, never mind, eat your cake. And when I was little, I would always be kind of wondering, like, where's this cake that we're talking about? Like, how come I didn't get the cake?
What kind of cake is it?
And is it chocolate cake? And then as I've grown, and particularly as I've written, I've realized, of course, it was never about cake. It was about don't let things get in the way, right? Like, you're letting somebody take away your cake. You're letting somebody take away your joy. You're letting somebody else control how you feel about yourself and about what's going on around you. She also was very much a person of, if you can't change it, then deal with it. Just push through. You know, very much a stiff upper lip, chin up kind of person, you know, that British way. But that was just her, always. And she was just so quiet and calm about it all the time.
I love it.
You know, it wasn't in your face ever. And it was just the most beautiful, loving person you've ever met.
So, if people want to get your book, they can either go to Amazon.
Absolutely, yes.
Or I understand you can also go to a local bookstore.
Yes.
You can order it through the bookstore.
Yes.
And if people want to visit your website,
absolutely,
it is michellebrowauthor.ca.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And they can visit you on your Instagram.
Yes.
And they can visit you on TikTok, Michelle
Absolutely.
Brown Author.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
This is Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. You might be able to guess who I have back on the show. None other than the gluten-free guy, Joel Mislick. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me back.
I don't know if our viewers can tell, but we are talking about holidays and entertaining.
Yes.
The last time we had you on the show, you were going over how you can make all these different cookies with one single recipe.
That's right.
With just a few adaptations. So if you
Yes.
missed that show, you can catch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can find out how you can create the same. Where are we going today in the world of gluten-free entertaining?
So, gluten-free or not, nothing is more stressful on the holidays than that doorbell ringing.
Oh no.
And you've got so much going on in your mind. You've got presents and you've got everything's going. The turkey might have to go in the oven. And some random guests have shown up. And you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Well, it's easy when you have it all prepared in advance.
Okay, so we need to prep.
Yes.
And is this easy prepping that
This
you
is
have going on?
Easy prepping. I mean, I made these 3 dips, and just make the dips that you like. If you like sun-dried tomato and cream cheese, then make sun-dried and tomato cream cheese. If you like feta and rosemary, then make feta and rosemary. If you like tapenade, make tapenade.
That's an olive tapenade.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking my language here.
So make these dips, and in a sealed container, they're going to last for 1, even 2 weeks in your fridge.
Oh,
like that's a long time.
That is. Okay, that's great.
So when somebody shows up, you just like bloop, 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 and then you've got that. And then we've got sunshine crisps, or I call them sunshine crisps. What did you call them?
I call them crostinis.
Crostinis. That's probably a more appropriate name.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a label name. I don't know. But when I think of like more dried bread, kind of bread cracker like, for some reason I think crostini.
So last night I was making a bolognese pasta, and I thought, you know what, I want to make a baguette. And I threw the mix into the mixer, whipped it up, scooped it onto my pan, popped it in the oven. It was literally that fast. 25 minutes later, out comes this beautiful, steaming, hot baguette, and I'm like, I've got leftovers. I'm going to make some crostinis, and you just slice them thin, well, thin, those are a little on the thick side, and you double bake them, like you're toasting them.
Oh, okay. So do you slice them up and then just throw them back into the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you add anything onto the bread before you put it into the oven?
You can, but because these are garlic and cheese, I don't think you really need to add much. I mean,
garlic and cheese. Okay, so where is this recipe located? If people want to get this, want to make it themselves.
So this is on glutenfreeguide.ca.
Okay.
Which is part of my show on Rogers.
Yeah.
And you can learn the basics of how to bake and cook and learn how simple it really is to make these things and know what you're eating. Because nothing's better than knowing what you're eating. And it looks super fancy. I mean,
yeah, it does. It looks amazing. Oh, I'm wanting specifics about this bread.
Okay.
So if someone at home, if they were considering making their own baguette.
Yes.
Did you say it was like 25 minutes or 25 minutes in the oven?
It's 25 minutes in the oven.
Okay, and then how long did it take you to prep that before getting into the oven? Was there a period of time where you have to let it rise and
10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you catch the first segment of Uxbridge Scugog Life, then you pop it in the oven, you watch the rest of Scugog Life, and then
it's
you've
done.
got a baguette done. Like it's literally just the bread mix from Frankie's, because it's a Frankie's bread mix, which is gluten-free.
Yeah.
You add your oil, you add your water, you mix it up, you add whatever else you want, like garlic or cheese or olives or maybe some olive tapenade or some feta, just whatever you want in there. And then you mix it, you shape it into the shape you want, you pop it in the oven.
Okay, amazing. Now, I do want to go over how you made these different dips.
Sure.
And as well as this fancy drink you have going over here. So we're going to do another segment where we can go into, we'll see how far we get, but we might be saving the dips for the next segment. Can we talk about this burst of sunshine of a drink that you have here? Even the way you did these glasses looks really nice.
So I mean, you have an orange in the house because citrus is good this time of year. Increase your vitamin C. Exactly.
Yes.
And I find a slice of orange always brightens the day, or a lemon, or a lime, something like that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you get some fresh squeezed orange juice, a little bit of bubbly, and you've got yourself a nice glass of whatever. I've sugar rimmed the glass.
Is there any particular type of sugar that you prefer to use, or is it just the standard?
This is just a standard white sugar, but you can use pretty much any sugar you want.
Okay.
And like right there, I've just made a mimosa for you, or a Bucks Fizz.
That's amazing. And you juiced that. That is freshly juiced orange juice.
Yes, I mean, you can use canned orange juice, absolutely. You can buy it from the carton, but I'm a bit of a snob, and I drink fresh squeezed.
You're a bit of a Martha.
So cheers.
Cheers. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
And I find having something like this with the dips or the or the cookies.
Oh, wow.
Like somebody shows up and you're like, you just put this together? And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't much. Like it just, because it makes you look so well prepared and on the game that you're going to be the envy of the neighborhood.
See, you make everything sound so easy, and I feel like with practice, it would even feel easy. Because when I picture this, I'm like, oh, I'd be sweating. Am I going to burn this stuff? Like, what's going on? But it's just because you got used to practicing it, and you have all your supplies. If you have your supplies, then you can put it all together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it will be easy.
Yeah. And nobody's going to judge if you go out and buy your own dips. But if you can say you made your own dips, I mean, it
Feels
just
that much.
takes it to another step.
It's serving food with love. That's what you're doing. All right, so we're going to be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. We'll find out how to make these dips. Stick around. I'm Jackie Hermans, the host of Uxbridge Scugog Life. We have a variety of topics that not only give you inspiration, but also an opportunity to engage within your community. Watch Uxbridge Scugog Life only on Rogers TV.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm with the gluten-free guy again, Joel Mislick. Thank you so much for staying for another segment.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to hang out with my bestie.
Oh, that makes my heart melt. It's hard to believe, but the more I do segments with you, the more I am believing on how quickly you can throw this together. So I understand you did all of this just last night.
Yeah.
You just whipped it all up.
I did.
Cookies, dips,
Yeah.
crostini, or what is it? Sunshine?
Sunshine crisps.
I like that. Sunshine crisps and the freshly squeezed orange juice. Like that's pretty amazing.
This is like,
because it's easy.
yeah, post dinner. Like,
Yeah.
we had dinner, the baguettes were cooling, I sliced them up while they were toasting, I did my dips, and then the cookies, I mean,
I love it.
cookies are cookies. They're not meant to be hard. I involved the kids in shaping them, and because who doesn't like going like this with the cookie cutter and having fun with it?
I think involving the kids is such a great idea
It is.
because they can feel proud in what they're serving their guests.
Yes.
Their love is going into them. They can appreciate the work that goes into entertaining, the time, and how that love aspect is important. And you know how I said it's hard to believe that you could do this all, and it's just about me and maybe some other viewers out there changing our perception that homemade does not need to be tough, grueling, stressful.
No, it doesn't
right?
have to be
It's changing
stressful.
that perception, because look at all that you could do in a simple evening. Okay, let's talk. So this dip, rosemary.
It's a rosemary feta dip, and
Okay.
we started making that at our restaurant when we had our gluten-free restaurant downtown Uxbridge, and which isn't there anymore. We sold that, and it just took off, and it's one of my favorites. It's just rosemary, pepper, and feta.
Rosemary, pepper, and feta. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try this.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be too loud in the viewers' ears as I crunch,
You're gonna hear
right?
that crunch, and you're
Okay,
going.
so
let me
maybe my
get you a
technical
napkin.
producer. Oh, look at this sweet napkin.
Here, I'll unfold it.
I like the way you folded that. Are you going to teach us how to do that too?
Absolutely.
We'll see how much time we have.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here, I'll grab a napkin for myself.
what goes into this?
So it's just rosemary, pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and feta.
Okay, I'm sorry if I'm crunching so loud, everyone out there. It's delicious.
And it's simple. And that's what I love about it. And you can pop it, you can make it, you can pop it in the fridge, and it will last for weeks.
Okay, and this recipe, all of these recipes are on your website, right?
Yes. Yep. They're all on glutenfreeguy.ca.
Okay. let's talk about the next one.
The next one, which is this red, glorious reddish, orangish dip, and that is sun-dried tomato and cream cheese. And that's, and that's it. It's sun-dried tomato and cream cheese. And it was just in the food processor. I put the sun-dried tomatoes in, and went, and I put the cream cheese in, and I went, and then I scooped it out, and that's what you got.
Okay, that's amazing. And so the cream cheese, you can also get lactose free. And by the way, I just want to say, I love the sound effects. So thank you for doing that. It's a good added effect to the show. So would you be able to substitute, let's say, the cream cheese with, let's say, a goat?
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great idea.
Thank you. I just that one. No, I love creamy goat.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what this is about. This is about you developing your inspirations. What's your inspiration of, instead of doing cream cheese, I'm going to do goat. Like, that's an excellent idea. You could do buffalo milk and rosemary. Sheep, like
buffalo milk.
Like just so many different varieties.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so that seems really, really easy.
Yeah, and it is.
Okay, and how do you know the proportion? Like how much sun-dried tomato to how much cheese?
Well, obviously too many sun-dried tomatoes makes it really tomatoey, but what's nice about the sun-dried tomato is it brings out that acid in there because you've got that little bit of acidic pop. And it really opens up really up near the back of the palate, and you can really feel that like a like it's a really nice feeling. This one's like a
and I find this one even warming in the heart.
Yes.
Like it's that's the way I could describe it. It's that rosemary in there. Okay, olive tapenade. I need to make a crostini with that one.
So I will move that for you.
Okay, thank you. So the olive tapenade.
It is.
What is in here other than olives?
So we have olives.
Yeah. Okay.
Olive oil.
Okay.
And some capers. And pepper.
Oh.
And not a lot of capers.
Easy.
Not a lot of capers. I mean, capers can really overpower it. The olives are already salty to start off with, so you don't want to add too much salt. But the capers add such a unique earthy flavor that it really rounds out that almost harsh olive flavor when you have too much olive.
This is seriously my most favorite olive tapenade I've ever tried before. And I love olive tapenade. So when it's there, I'm trying it. It is delicious.
And that's what's nice about having a variety of different dips, because no matter who you have over, somebody's going to like at least one of them. Like,
this is fabulous.
So, I mean, you like 2 of the 3, and that's great.
Now, we don't have much time left.
Okay.
With the, let's say, 20 seconds that we have left, is there anything that you want to share about these cookies? Because some of these look different than the ones that you had on the last show.
So it's the same recipe. I just went a bit more creative. So with some of them, like these dark ones underneath, I dipped them in dark chocolate on the bottom. These ones are all iced with white icing, and some of them I just did white icing, and I just did little dots of red and then did a little swirl around them. So it's just be creative and explore what your creative mind can do, and no cookie will be the same.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Joel, as always, it was so great having you on the show, and I hope this helps with your entertaining over the holidays. Thank you so much to all of our guests, and we look forward to you watching the show again next week. Uxbridge Scugog Life. We'll see you then.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.